Welcome to Divorce Mortgage Strategies, brought to you by the Divorce Lending Association, where clarity meets strategy in the financial side of divorce. Whether you're a family law professional, a financial expert, or someone navigating the complexities of divorce yourself, this podcast is your go-to resource for trusted insight into how real property and mortgage financing intersect with divorce outcomes. We don't just talk about houses. We talk about strategic solutions that protect futures. Let's dive in. Today, we welcome host, certified divorce lending professional Carla Kite and her guest, licensed legal paraprofessional Marissa Sterritt.
Okay. I am Carla Kite with My Divorce Mortgage Planning, and today I have Marissa Sterritt. Did I say your last name correct?
Yes.
Okay. Marissa Sterritt, she is a licensed legal paraprofessional down in the Colorado Springs area. And Marissa, let me just start off with, we chatted a little bit before we hopped on here, but you have a ton of experience in the family law space. So do you want to just tell us really quickly about your experience and how long that you have been in this space?
Yeah, most definitely. So I'd say it's about 18 years of experience. I've been here in Colorado for about 11, and 10 of those years I've actively been a paralegal under a family law attorney in Colorado Springs. And so I've had a lot of experience with all types of divorces, all types of dynamics, whether it's just spouses with a house or all the way up to physicians with businesses and practices and working on those marital estates and trying to figure out whether there's a need for experts. There's also a lot of cases I've had experience with allocation of parental responsibilities, dealing with decision-making issues, parenting time, child support, modifications, all those types of matters. And so the benefit of working here in Colorado Springs is there's such a wide dynamic, and we can work in El Paso County. I've worked in other counties in the area. And so basically, I've really enjoyed that experience, being able to be involved hands-on with those types of cases, helping the clients directly and what their needs are, and then also being able to go to court with my attorney at the time to be able to assist in trial with exhibits and things of that nature. So before that, I came from Texas. I had over like 7 years of family law experience there. And with considering also that I have a bachelor's degree, I went to St. Mary's University out of San Antonio. So I've kind of been through the system here and had that experience and that dynamic working in Texas, and then the majority of my experience here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah. And so you recently were inducted as an LLP just at the beginning of 2026. What I really want you to hit on here is what you went through to get your LLP. So I want people watching this to understand that you didn't, I mean, racking up 18 years of experience in family law is pretty impressive anyway, but you didn't just hop online and take an hour course and then go take a test to become an LLP.
Yeah.
I know it was a lot from talking to all of you guys. So I want you to really kind of go into some detail about what you had to go through to get this license to practice in this way.
Yeah, for sure. So when I found out about the LLP program, I was really interested. There's a lot of requirements, and the application process itself, like just filling out the application, it was like 22 pages. So it's pretty extensive. I honestly took my time with that because I wanted to make sure that there was no error, that I was doing everything right, following the right steps and the requirements, constantly looking at the Colorado Supreme Court website, making sure, checking all the boxes. With my background, and I have my bachelor's degree, I went ahead and, as far as the extensive hours, you have to prove and document, all of your experience, and then your attorney has to validate those hours to make sure that you are qualified. And then, you have the bar regulation team basically reviewing all of this stuff. So it was really extensive last year. Meeting the requirements of the application, going forward with the background checks, making sure that character and fitness is good, all of the interviews with your recommended people that you have identified for references, and then the CLE that are required, the hours that are required, the ethics course that was required. There was also an advanced family law course. It wasn't required, but it was recommended. And I did take that course. And I honestly recommend it to anybody that's contemplating whether to do it or not, regardless of your experience. It's such a good tool to have in your basket when you're getting ready to take the exam. So my year of 2025 was literally getting ready for my application submission, character and fitness, and studying to make sure I met all those requirements, and then getting ready for the exam in November. So the benefit of that is that you have those online, the prior essays, so you can practice and your responses and preparing for that, so you're better well versed on what to expect on the exam, and then just getting ready for that day, which is quite extensive. Last year was a challenge for me, but honestly, I don't regret it at all. It was one of the best experiences, and I'm really grateful for it.
That's awesome. Who's teaching these CLEs and that advanced family law course, the ethics course, and who's teaching that to you guys? Are those active attorneys, or is it retired judges? Who's in charge of all that?
Yeah, when I took the course last year, there's two attorneys, and normally they ask the school will ask staff like if they would like to be the professors for that semester, depending.
Mhm.
That's my understanding. And so there are two actually attorneys. The attorney in the ethics course actually was involved in the last LLP seminar that we had for the trial preparation course. And so that was really great to see her again. There was an active attorney out of Denver that was teaching the advanced family law course. So this is coming straight from attorneys that are practicing law and that can
Mhm.
actually that have the qualifications to teach the courses.
Okay, awesome. So tell me what is it that makes you fly out of bed every morning and do what you do? Because I think you're pretty passionate about what you do, and I know you're really excited to have this designation and move forward. You're at a new firm, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But what makes you fly out of bed in the morning?
We're, Working in family law itself is amazing, honestly. There's the worst of times, there's the best of times, but the fact that you can go in every day and help people and make a difference in their lives when they're looking for direction, they're looking for help, they're looking for that light at the end of the tunnel because they're just lost. And it's like, I
Hmm.
can advocate for you, I can help you. Like, we can
Yeah,
get through this together, and there is going to be goodness at the end.
yeah. It's hard for them to see that, right? At this
Yeah.
juncture. So you really feel, I mean, you're a part of that, right?
Yeah.
You're a part of getting them to that end space. I'm sure that you've worked on a lot of cases with kids, it sounds like. Has that been super impactful to you, do you think, with what you do?
Yes, very impactful. I mean, just the fact of seeing families and their dynamic and then the change and the kids and how it affects them. So it's important to really be there and kind of be that leader to kind of help guide them through their journey. And those
Hmm.
kids, I mean, they sometimes you don't realize how much it affects them. And so it's really important to be there to advocate not just for the mother or father, but for those kids as well, and be able to, educate them on the tools that they have to be able to do the best they can for the best
Yeah.
interest of their kids.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that the consumers are do you think they know about this designation? Do you think that like has it taken off in Colorado Springs yet? You know, I mean, because it was designed to offer a more affordable route for legal representation while you're going through a divorce. So, do you think that people are aware of this option?
I think it's slowly getting out there. And I think also it's a slow movement right now that will hopefully grow with the
Mhm.
fact of the rules that changed in December. So we're kind
Yes.
of all on that same platform that now we can actually go into trial and advocate for our clients and, cross and direct and things like that. And we have a lot more responsibility, but that offers our client a lot more opportunity that, hey, we can help you, and now with this rule change we have a lot more that we can do for you. So starting now in from that rule change in December, we're all able
Yeah.
to do a lot more in our
I'm going to
capacity.
touch on that really quick. Just point out what that is that we're talking about for anybody that's watching this. So there were some restrictions on the LLPs that were lifted in December. And one of the big ones was that they could go to court with you. They could go to court with you before, but they
Yeah.
couldn't actually stand up and cross-examine in the courtroom. And so that has now been lifted. And I know there's a couple other restrictions that were lifted as well,
Yeah.
but it really allows you, even in a
Mhm.
litigated case, to take your client all the way to the finish line if
Yeah.
you choose to. I know there's some LLPs that I have talked to that are not super interested in litigating in the courtroom, and that's okay. I think the majority of the LLPs, even if you're practicing on your own, have attorneys that they can refer out to if the case goes that direction and they don't feel like it's within their scope, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah. So
definitely.
so that's the rule change that Marissa was talking about there that occurred in December. Is there a certain case that comes to mind for you that you've worked on in your 18 years that just really sticks with you?
One that really made a difference that comes across my mind right now is one actually that I helped with last year. It was a father and very involved, was beyond like the world's best thing was becoming a dad. And it was an APR case. And the mom was giving some kickback, not really wanting him to be
What is
involved.
APR?
An allocation parental responsibility. So this is where a mom and a dad have a kid together, but they're not married.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, we represented dad, and he was just like over the moon. Like he was in the labor and delivery room. He was completely involved every day of this kid's life as much as he possibly could. We went to court because he was trying to get, his making sure there's something established, parenting schedule, decision making, all
Hmm.
the good stuff. And his testimony was just so good. The fact that he was able to explain to the judge what he does day to day with his son, being able to be hands on, reading a book to him at night before bed. And it just hit me like just those like warm moments that make you feel good. I was like, I can't even look at the client while he's testifying because I'm going to start
Yeah.
crying. Like, it was just so genuine and just so good of the relationship he had with his son. And so at the end of the day, long story short, we got a really good order in our favor, and dad was able to be there 50-50 and be there as much as he could for his son. And it was just the most rewarding thing to be a part of.
Those stories like that kind of stick with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are the professionals that are helping them through the process. And so those things just really they matter. That's what we get up and do every day. So
Yeah.
do you think that and I know most of you guys have talked about the support that you get from the entire group, and I think there's a lot of attorneys that offer support as well to you guys. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Maybe the collaboration and the support that the LLP group in Colorado offers to you guys?
Yeah. So there's the Colorado like state bar LLP group, and then we have, which I'm a part of, the El Paso County Bar Association has their own LLP committee. And so like the El Paso County committee, we basically meet once a month, and they also offer some CLE. Like they just had the full day trial, civil
Hmm.
trial practicum come up, and like parallel Ps from all over the state are welcome to participate. And so we basically get in there for the meeting and kind of go over what's going on. If you have questions, it's like a support group. And basically, what's going on, rule changes, updates on child support, things like that, how to handle things or cases they have coming up and things. So we kind of share on that. And it's a really great team to be a part of, just to feel like I'm not alone type of situation in the
Yeah.
world. You didn't just get loose, you're not out there with a license and then just kind of running rampage. There's structure, there's a group to be supportive there to help you in case you have questions. The Colorado State Bar LLP group is so great. I'm really overwhelmed and loving just how open armed they just bring you into their group, and constantly there's communication with emails and updates and what's going on, and they have their meetings every month as well. And the really good thing I like about their program is that they have their LLP meeting, and then they have a focus on a CLE education following the meeting. So then you can be a part of that. The last one we had, for example, was a focus on experts and like how to help like during your case and then preparing for trial. So there's a lot of good tools in there that you get to be a part of and experience through those groups.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you know how many LLPs there are now statewide? I
Well,
think there's like
after
130,
I
maybe.
thought there was 126. I know that I'm
Okay.
120.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So yeah, and they're just ramping up this next year for the new group. So I'm not too sure how many are in that
Hmm.
group.
And I think not that this matters, but this is an interesting little fact. There's only like what, maybe four males, but the reason why is because the paralegal profession is very female dominated,
Yeah.
and that's who's going into this LLP program. So I want to point that out too, is that most of the LLPs, probably all of them, have some experience as a paralegal in family law, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a lot of the requirement. Like, if you don't have the certain requirements for education background, you have to meet like 125 hours of experience or something
Okay.
like that. Like, it's
Yeah.
extensive. The
Yeah.
application is expensive. So,
Yeah. So I mean, it totally makes sense. If I was a paralegal with, 10 or 15 or 20 years of experience, I would be getting my LLP as well. So, that makes total sense to me. You recently moved firms, and it sounds like your new firm is really excited to help you grow in this space. And you will be taking a lot of your own cases and building that caseload as an LLP.
yeah.
Is there anything, I mean, I'm sure you'll talk to anybody and let them know if you're not a fit for them, but is there anything offhand that you're not a fit for as an LLP?
Well, I refer back to Rule 207 to confirm what I, as an LLP, am able to do in my limited scope and what I cannot do.
Okay,
So normally I refer to that first and then make
perfect.
sure that I am able to help this person in my capacity, or does this need to go to an attorney and refer them directly up front and be honest? And it just depends on the client themselves and their needs and whether they feel comfortable. I'm just honest as far as when I meet with people and making sure that their questions are answered. If I don't have the answer to their question, I make sure to get it. It just really depends on the case by case situation, but I am actively taking cases and trying to build a practice here. And I have the great support of my team here. So I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I just think consumers don't understand what an LLP is, right? And so they
Right.
need to understand that you are an option for them. You can take them from start to finish through the divorce process. And if every single one of you have said, if we feel like this is too much for us, I don't think anybody is interested in taking a case that they feel is out of their scope. And
Step
certainly not if it's defined as out of their scope.
Exactly. And that's what I love about our firm here at the law office of Andrew Bryant. We have about 5 or 6 attorneys on staff. And so it's not just me, in the dark trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Normally, when I get a case, if I'm lead on it, there's instruction. But right now, because I'm also new at licensing, and that's what I've told people, like there is an attorney always going to be involved, like almost like a shadowing type of thing. So, in the event there is something that I'm not sure of, or maybe it's out of my expertise, that I can always go to my appointed attorney to make sure that, we're in the right direction. And if
Yeah.
it does need to be handled by the attorney can step in. But right now, like that's the dynamic, and I've been able to manage what I have as far as my caseload currently.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, do you have any last words that you want to say before I want you to make sure you tell everybody where they can find you if they're seeking out your assistance with their divorce, or any last words?
Yeah, you can find me at the law office of Andrew Bryant, and we're off of Cascade in Colorado Springs. If you Google the law office, you can click on the website. The information is there, the phone number. You can call the office, or you can click and ask to get into contact with me directly, or just in general call the office for consultation. The website's andrewbryantlaw.com. And I'm available Monday through Friday. So I'll always make sure to be flexible for the needs of whoever's coming in. And, if you're going through this process, an LLP might be something you might want to consider, because there's a lot of things that we can do for you. And, especially the fact that it's a new thing that's coming out and we really can benefit your case and benefit the client's needs. In this venture moving forward with confidence, don't feel like you have to navigate through family law alone. You have people out there to help.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Marissa, thank you so much for joining me today, and I wish you a ton of success in your new venture as an LLP.
Thank you so much for your time. It was great talking to you.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on Divorce Mortgage Strategies, powered by the Divorce Lending Association. If today's conversation brought you clarity, insight, or inspiration, we encourage you to subscribe and share this episode with others in your circle. For more resources, or to connect with a certified divorce lending professional in your area, visit divorcelendingassociation.com. And be sure to download the free Divorce Strategy Hub mobile app for tools, education, and support designed to guide you through the financial side of divorce. Until next time, remember, in divorce, the mortgage isn't the problem, it's the plan.